you want to do?
Businessman, businessman. Enjoy my life and have my business. No? I have many things to do.
Since you got organization with your fighters, right? With a stable of fighters.
I don't know yet. I don't like to be involved in boxing after I'm retired. But I have
Exactly.
Eddie, so Eddie loves boxing, and maybe in some point.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's just pretty cool.
Those are the words of Canelo Alvarez as he speaks to Mike Tyson on Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. And as you heard him say that he doesn't want to be involved in boxing when he retires. He has other things that he wants to do, other businesses that he wants to be successful in and accomplish, and that is that. Let me counterpunch. It's kind of good and bad. Okay? So I'm a Libra, so I got to tell you the pros and the cons, right? You could say if a person that made millions of dollars in boxing would not have anything to do with boxing after he retires from boxing, the bad part about that, people could say, well, that, he's unappreciative. He doesn't support the guys that are after him, instead of the guys that were before him, or teaching other people what he knew, being as so elite as he is as a fighter. You could look at it like that. But you could also look at it, that's a pretty good idea. Why? Because you can see someone, or you've seen other boxers that don't get out of boxing ever. Not only did they stop fighting, they just can't find a way to rip away from boxing. Boxing to boxers is just so addicting to the point where it destroys their life, it destroys their family, it destroys their health, it destroys everything. And it's all because of the worship of a sport that I love, that I hate so much, boxing. Okay, so to see Canelo Alvarez, if he's going to make the decision to not be involved in boxing and do other things with his life, he's just proving like, hey, not only that I could box for whatever, because he's been boxing since he was 15. Okay, so he's been in the sport a long time. And for him to say, you know what, that's almost like being in the military and then retiring, right? And not looking back. Put your 20 years on and get the hell out of Dodge. Get out of there. It can be healthy because it just shows you there's more to you than boxing. Boxing is something that you do. I remember Andre Ward saying this, so I'm quoting Andre Ward, okay? Shouts out to him. But boxing is something you do, not necessarily who you are, okay? That's a profession, not a professional whatever, and that's who someone known you as, and that's all you're ever going to be. No, there's other aspects of life. That's what brings that balance, okay, to your life. Not doing so much of one thing to the point that you're only known as that thing. In 10 years after Canelo Alvarez is retired, then you see him, oh, you mean the guy, he used to box, but now he's like a oil and gas guy down in Mexico. See, a lot of people don't even know that Canelo Alvarez has gas stations in Mexico. He owns them. That's smart. That means that when that prize money draws up, if it ever, he has something to build on. He has something to live for and live with. He has business decisions to make. He has people to hire. He has people to fire. He has things to do, trips to make, families to create. All types of things that you can do without the sport of boxing. And I love the sport, but I also hate it because of the things that it comes with it. Okay, it's a love and hate thing, a yin and the yang, an up and down, an in and out. That's those type of things boxing creates. So to hear Canelo Alvarez say, well, I don't want to be involved in it. You would look at him as being another person that walked away like a Marvin Hagler. Marvelous. Shouts out to him. God bless the dead. Okay. You see guys that do that more and more. It's more of a realistic and more positive future, silver lining of what someone can do after the sport. Use the sport to make you be somewhere else. Look at Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, he retired from NBA, but look at him now. He's a business guy. He's all about business. He owns stuff, right? That creates wealth. Not just, hey, I'm that guy that played basketball. No, you've known him for all types of stuff now. Papa John's and those type of things, right? He owns a part of that company, or a portion of that company. So those are the type of things that I think Canelo Alvarez sees, because when you look at boxers and you look at the conditions that boxers are in, and the conditions that they that accumulate in their lives, is bad, it's sad, and then a lot of times there is no health plan for boxers. There is no pension for boxers. Those fight purses are exactly that, and everybody's taking a piece of that anyway. So you're looking at it, it's like, well, damn, and then their health declines, and people can hardly talk, hardly walk, develop Parkinson's or some type of CTE. It's sad. But to know, because they've either done it too long, like someone like Roy Jones and Shane Mosley, and Fernando Vargas kind of got out pretty quick. He didn't just stay too long, but even him, he's suffering. You listen to Fernando talk now versus how he talked in 2001. It's a total big difference. Okay, so Evander Holyfield, a lot of fighters, okay, that have that same condition that follows them. Mickey Ward now has some, those type of things. So there is life after boxing, though. It is, and the whole thing is having the wisdom to get out when it's time to get out without taking too much damage, to the point where not only if your reflexes are not sharp enough to protect yourself from long-term injury. Okay. But I think it's a good and bad thing, because you would want to see Canelo Alvarez, which I think he'll still go to fights. He'll be in the front row of something or another. He could open his own promotional company maybe. But then it is refreshing to know that, hey, I will not be consumed with this sport that I've made millions at, that I dedicated so much time for. I will have time to do other things in my life. But anyway, that's my counterpunch. You guys tell me what you think of Canelo Alvarez not wanting anything to do with boxing after he retires. Of course, please subscribe, leave your comments below, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.